here with Sam Gale then, pre-Christmas lunch.
Yeah.
We'll get on to that in a minute. The run you're on at the moment, I mean, it's 5 unbeaten, obviously 4 draws in a row, which is in some ways a bit of a head scratch. How's the camp feeling ahead of the Barrow game?
Yeah, we're confident going into it. Like you say, the 4 draws. It's good that we're unbeaten. We're showing we're tough to beat, like we did on that long unbeaten run we went on back end of last season and going into this season. But it's just weird that you make 2 losses and 2 wins would actually mean you're better off points wise, but confidence wise you might be better off with 4 draws. So yeah, we're confident going into Barrow. We know it'll be a tough game. They'll be up for it. Obviously they've just had a change of manager, so they'll come here motivated. So we've got to match their energy, but we back ourselves to do enough to get the 3 points.
Is there any frustration in those draws? Because I know it's a game of small margins, but as you say, 1 or 2 of those a win will make a big difference to you.
Yeah, there's frustration. I think last week us and Colchester, 2 good sides, cancelled each other out. You can put that down to a good point on the road. The Shrewsbury one, there's a bit of frustration. We showed that we were more than capable of getting 3 points there of our second half performance, and unfortunately we've just given ourselves a bit of a mountain to climb. So yeah, there is frustration in there, but I think ultimately we're showing good resilience, and if we can turn that into 3 points, then we're going to look like we're in a much healthier position in the table. Just
outside the playoff places as well. I mean, I don't know what you thought as a group before you started the season, nearly halfway through. Do you feel good about that? I'm sure you feel there's more to come.
Yeah, I think any time the season being in touching distance of the playoff places and even the automatics is a positive sign. The league's so tight. You look at the results Tuesday night, I don't think anyone really gained ground on us. Maybe one team did, our Notts won, but yeah, I was flicking between the games and it's just madness, the points that are getting dropped by teams that you would assume would win, and it just shows this league, everyone's capable of beating everyone, so to be in touch and distance of the playoffs in a league that is so tight is, it's very positive.
I think a lot of us were doing that Tuesday night. I know players don't always, there are a lot of you that will look at those results, specifically when you're not playing.
I don't really know. I think a lot of the lads like to watch the Champions League football. I have found it quite interesting just to flick between the games that were going on in our league. I like to look at teams and see players who I might come up against in the near future, so it was quite interesting for me. So yeah, I like to do that.
You talked a bit about resilience, and obviously with the injuries in the squad at the moment, it's a good thing that you also have a big squad, isn't it? The defence last week was a bit of a shuffle around for you as well. How are you finding that as a player?
Yeah, it's a challenge because obviously I've played with so many different partners this season, and with the injuries that we've had, we've been unfortunate, and not just me, we haven't really been able to build long-term partnerships with people, which helps, and I think people need to remember that with our injury issues, that familiarity on the pitch is really important, and players building relationships, and where we've had a lot of injuries and a lot of little knocks and suspensions, we haven't been able to do that. So I know going into this Christmas period we're starting to get players back, so you should see the best of us.
And you, one of the players with the highest number of performances in the league this season for Gilles, but you've had to be adaptable, I suppose, as well because of those things.
Yeah, I have. Obviously, mainly play centre half, but sometimes my role as centre half looks quite different. Like on the weekend against Colchester, I found myself in the left back position quite a bit. That was just the tactical plan to take away their threats, and I enjoy that task. Yeah, I've had to be adaptable. I pride myself on being available, keeping myself fit. So yeah, hopefully that continues.
I think it's easy for us perhaps to forget. You look at the performance you've had this season and that you really only broke through into the first team last year. How much of a steep learning curve has that been for you? What's that been like?
Yeah, it has been a big learning curve. I think I said it in pre-season that this would be a real test, starting from a clean slate where the club had aspirations, and it wasn't just last season where the season was kind of done a bit when I was playing. I've been happy with myself, but then also at the same time I've been a bit unhappy with myself. I don't think I've been completely at my best. I know I've got more in me, and there's been some games where I've come off the pitch and I've felt disappointed because I want to hold myself to a higher standard. So yeah, there's a lot to learn. I'm learning on the job every week, so I'm just trying to take what I learned from previous games into the future.
It's a big transition, isn't it, from promising young player to first team regular?
Yeah, and I think that's changed in my mindset as well. Like things that maybe a year ago I might have accepted as a good performance, I've changed my expectations to myself now, and I might come off the pitch and think, yeah, I was bang average today, whereas 12 months ago I might have thought, oh, that was a really good game. But you've got to keep doing that. You can't settle. I have high aspirations, the club have high aspirations, we're matching each other, so I've got to keep going.
Yeah, I guess from your point of view as well, looking big picture, a lot of acquisitions have come into the club, but you're one of the mainstays. That must give you a confidence in yourself.
Yeah, it does, and it gives me that competitive edge. Listen, we're all teammates, but I want to be the one going out there on the weekend or on a Tuesday. I want to be the one who's showing why I'm playing, and the boys are supporting me. I'll support boys if I'm not playing. Ultimately, we are a team, but I want to be the one playing. I believe I'm good enough, but yeah, we all keep each other pushing. We've got players coming back now. Players have to be at their best, especially around the Christmas period. There's so many games, so we're going to push each other to be better 100%.
We can certainly see that determination from you on the pitch. Are you looking to add elements to your game as well? Do you work with the coaches on, I suppose, adding different parts of your game as well?
Yeah, I speak about it with the gaffer a lot. I think my defensive attributes are where I'm strong. I like to think that's where I can show really what I can do, and I think the next part of my game is adding the sort of longer range of passing, not just long range, mid range as well, kind of being able to support the team in the build up a bit more with how we're playing out. So I think that's the next step for me. It's sometimes the hardest thing to do. League Two can be a million miles an hour sometimes, and you get sometimes sucked into just heading it and clearing it back. And I think the good players that you see that rise to the top and look really good are the ones who can put their foot on the ball and kind of the chaos of it and look good. So I think that's the next step for me to add that to my game.
And do coaches work with you one-on-one? I mean, with all the players, they work with you one-on-one with particular things they'd like to see or you'd like to develop?
Yeah, we do. We do a lot of clipping, like looking at games back, looking at situations. Pete does a lot of it with us. Gaffer speaks to us about it one-to-one. But yeah, we get together as centre-backs, especially in a group, and we kind of discuss things and we bounce ideas off each other because we've all got different opinions. I think we've got quite a variation of centre-halves in our group. I think we've got sort of old school ones, we've got ones who like to play more, we've got ones who want to be defending big spaces. So we all bounce ideas off each other while looking at it, and I think that helps us all develop very well. And
Christmas is coming up. We can hear the background of the Christmas party, which we're keeping you from at the moment, to the Christmas lunch. This is your first real experience, I suppose, being a professional during Christmas time. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it is. I've had a lot of experience of playing a large amount of games around Christmas because obviously the non-league schedule is equally as hectic around Christmas. So I think the amount of games won't come as a shock to me. But yeah, the kind of full-time aspect of being around Christmas, yeah, it's my first time. Obviously you're maybe balancing training harder some days, training lighter some days, because obviously the Christmas schedule, games are coming on days that they wouldn't usually come on. So yeah, I'm just trying to be prepared for that, stay fit, stay healthy.
I guess it's part of the job, isn't it, as a professional footballer? That's something you would expect.
Yeah, it is, and I love this period really. The gaffers said it to us, this is where you can really make and break a season. If you go on a good run around here, a good little month run, you maybe play 10 games in that month and you're in a really healthy position to attack the rest of the season, but equally if you don't, then you're really fighting to get back in the race. So I like this part of the season, I like the jeopardy of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I know a lot of us will fixate about the food over Christmas, and it's a big part of the celebration as well.
Yeah.
Do you have to take advice from nutritionists or strength and conditioning at this time of year?
Yeah, we will. To be fair, Christmas dinner isn't too bad. Maybe lay off the bacon wrapped sausages, pigs in blankets, but ultimately it's not the worst. No alcohol probably, because obviously you play Boxing Day, but yeah, we can still enjoy ourselves with our families, but at the same time we've got to balance that and be ready to go Boxing Day, because that'll be a big game against Cambridge.
Sure. Sam, thank you.
Thank you, mate.
We had this conversation in mid-December last year. Could you have even dreamed you'd done what you've done in the last 12 months?
No, absolutely not. I've said it before, this time last year, I had 6 months left on my deal and I was ready to leave the club. That's the truth. I thought I was done here. Not in terms of what the club thought, but in terms of I thought I'm a long way away from being able to affect this and affect the first team environment. So no, I couldn't have dreamed that the last 12 months would have gone like this, no.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah. I wouldn't change it for anything. I don't think it could have gone better. The club have supported me, the people around me have supported me really well and enabled me to have this run in the team basically from December to December. So yeah, really enjoyed it.
In that 12 months, a lot has changed off the field here though, hasn't it? And as someone who's come through the club from a youngster, you must have you've seen how much the club has come forward in the last 3-4 years. Yeah,
it really has. I think the support from not just management but the staff upstairs, Brad, Shannon working their way down to Joe, everyone. I think the club's so together now. A few years ago the club was quite fractured. As a youth team player we felt a million miles away from the first team. Even as a first year pro, sometimes some managers didn't make the effort to make young players feel connected. Just talking about our gaffer now, he knows every under 18's name. When they come over and trains with us, they're getting called by a nickname. And listen, I know how much that will probably mean to them, because I remember being an under 18 and people not knowing my name, and that would annoy me. So I'm having that togetherness at the club now it's really massive.
You brought the under 18s up quite nicely, because I was going to lead into that. They've got their Youth Cup game at Stevenage next weekend. How much? And next week on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday next week. How important is it for them that they know they've got the backing of you guys in the first team squad?
Yeah, it is really important for them. I know quite a few of the lads who live locally came to watch their last Youth Cup game, and they were quite impressed. I know they're a strong group, the youth team. They do well in their league, they do well in the Youth Cup. They've got a brilliant manager in Joe Dunn. But yeah, it is really important for the young lads and then when they come over to train with us, they know they're in a comfortable environment, because it can be quite daunting when you're coming over to a group of sort of men who are all quite chummy with each other, having banter with each other, and then you come over and you feel like the odd one out. So it's really important that they feel comfortable to do that.
And as someone who's been through the process, how important do you think it is for them to have someone like Joe in charge, who's done it himself for this club?
Yeah, it's really important. I think you're seeing the value of Joe with the quality of the youngsters that have played in especially the EFL Trophy, and we've had them on the bench in the league, a few of them. Yeah, it's really important for them. He's played, he's managed in League Two. There's no better person for them to learn off ultimately.
And looking at Christmas itself, you can't win anything at Christmas, but as you said, it can propel you into the new year. And I guess in some respects now, because you've got the second Saturday in January off because the Dons are still in the Cup, you've got that little comfort break after the madness, haven't you?
Yeah, we do. Even though it might not look like it with our injuries at the moment, we are a squad that is extremely athletic. We're primed for this Christmas period. We're ready to go. We're getting players back, so we're going to be really ready to attack that Christmas period. Then, like you say, we can go hard, put it all into those games, and hopefully there might be fixtures moved, you never know, but hopefully get that free weekend off where MK Dons are in the FA Cup to kind of rest the bodies after a long Christmas period.
And what does Sam Gale want for Christmas?
Hopefully maximum points from all our games.
Good answer. Good luck.
Cheers.